So it is probably extremely noisy in here, and I don't know what video I'm going to put this in, but I broke down on my way home from work. So I was driving along, got into 4th gear, and went to put my foot down to go into 5th, and clutch went straight to the floor. Pulled over to have a look what was going on, and there was no fluid left in my master, for my clutch master. It's all brand new bits, mind you, so I've got a brand new master, brand new clutch line even, and a brand new slave, so it's all brand new bits. And when I crawled underneath and topped up the fluid, it actually looks like the slave cylinder has pushed the seal out, and it's just leaking all over the floor. So I only bought that about maybe 3 months ago at the max. So driving it back to the workshop now, luckily I was only just down the road, so driving back now, I'm going to get the car up tomorrow. I'm going to have to change the slave over. The quality's probably quite poor as well. I'm just recording on my phone at the moment, so it's not the best in the world, but it does the trick. Yeah, everyone's just going past me because I'm stuck in 1st gear. I cannot shift out of 1st. This is my full pelt. I don't want to go any higher than 3 grand, so I'm cruising at about 25 k's an hour through the industrial area, which is great. It's really amazing. I'm having a great time. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Hopefully I can just chuck a new slave on tomorrow and then it'll all be golden. Luckily for me, the place I bought it from is a parts supplier directly across the road from me at work, so shout out to Kudos. I'm just happy it's 5 o'clock, because if it was 3 o'clock it would be so busy through here at the moment. Alright, I'm going to put my phone down, I'm going to park this up, and I'm going to get Connor to give me a lift home, and I'll have to sort this out tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Good morning everyone, it is now the next day. I had Ashley come over and she's driving me to work today. Thank you. She loves to be here.
I don't know why I'm acting like I'm so annoyed, because I'm literally going to the same place.
No, she loves it. That's how much she loves me. So we took some photos from underneath the car yesterday, which I'll just post up now, and what you can see is that's the slave before, and then that is after. So after we put the fluid in and then pumped up the pedal, that's what it looked like, and that's when we first saw it leaking. So it looks like something internally on the slave has had a blowout, and it's just inflated that boot and it's just slowly starting to leak out of there. So today I'm going to be heading across to Kudos, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a warranty thing for getting that replaced. So I'll be unzipping the slave when I get to work, and then taking it across the road and seeing what they can do with it. Even if I need a new one, I just need to get the car back on the road, so I'm not too fussed. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, but driving the car into the workshop, because the clutch wouldn't work, every time it would kind of come to a slow kind of crawl, it would jolt forward as if you were about to stall. So as I was pulling into the car park, it jolted forward and crashed into the wall. So there's probably a bit of damage on my front bar. From what I saw, there's a little bit of a crack continuing from the little crack that was already there. I'm hoping that's the most of it. I hope there's no more damage to it, but time will tell. We're about half an hour from work, so fingers crossed my bar isn't completely damaged or broken and needing a new one. But GDR front end.
How much did that say, man?
You can actually get them quite cheap on, I think it's JSI Aero.
Yeah, but then your problem is you need to get it painted.
True. But I do know that painter guy. He might be able to help out with that.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how good it will be, but it couldn't be any worse than what it currently is. Well, well, well. Look who it is again. Oh, that's trouble. Nice. So I got dropped at the end of the street because Ashley had to get to work, and Connor was driving past. So this works out well. How good does this thing look? On camera. Don't look at it in person, you'll be very disappointed. Alright, I need to go to work. So this is said wall that I hit, and you can see where I've ripped a hole out of the wall. Very luckily, it just hit the bolt from my number plate, so that took most of the force. Everything else on the front looks pretty good. I don't see any damage. There's a couple of places which were bad on this side over here. So You can see in that corner there, if it will focus, when this was painted, it looks like they have completely filled it with bog. So that bog just shattered to pieces, and then down in that corner the paint's chipped off a little bit. Apart from that, it actually looks pretty good. It's just one of the worst feelings when you run into something and you hear that crunch and you don't know what's happened. I'm just so glad it hasn't hit the bonnet or damaged the headlight, because they're the most expensive parts. So might chase down a new bar, might put a different front bar on. Good opportunity for it, but for now that damage isn't too major. I'm happy to roll with that. It won't be too obvious. Lucky me. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, there's our slave under there. You can kind of see the boot all inflated as well. So 2 bolts in the one line, and then that can pop off, and I'll pull it off, take it across the road and see what Kudos wants to do. Either warranty or I'll just buy another one. Just want to get it back on the road. So I'll be pulling that off today. Probably won't be recording any of that, but I'll probably record this afternoon when we blend it all up. I just got back across the road from Kudos and they have supplied me with a new slave cylinder. And I went ahead and bought a boot, because as you would have seen in the photos earlier, I don't actually have a boot on my gearbox to stop any dust getting in. So I thought I may as well get one of those. That was only 20 bucks, so may as well chuck that on. I also bought more parts. So I got more intimate pads for my rears. So I've only done my fronts. So I'll be getting a set of T3 rotors for the rear, same DBA stuff. And I'll be setting those up. That'll be another video. So stay tuned for a video on more Intima brake setups, hopefully with more footage this time. I didn't really record as much as I wanted to last time. I'm just going to go and chuck this in. It's going to be quite hard to record because it's all done underneath the car and it won't be going on the hoist. Alright, so we did Zach's gearbox on the weekend, not even 2 days ago. Now we're doing my gearbox. Mine's broken. And these are just as tight as his were. So, guidelines. My clutch fork, we think, has popped off the release bearing. Ish, sort of, maybe. So you probably need that torch because it's very dark. You can see there's a lot of brake fluid everywhere. Originally our fork was stuck.
I'll get you to hold the torch.
Good call. Way back here. You can't even push it that far back. So it should be right up here. It shouldn't be right up there, but close-ish. And then your clutch pushes on it to engage it. Mine was way past that point, and that's what happened with the slave. So it actually pushed it almost out of its socket.
Oh, I put it over here.
Yeah. So it pushed it out of its socket and actually ripped the seal to shreds. So you can see it's just shredded that seal. Filled up with brake fluid, made a mess everywhere. Car stopped. Things went wrong, you've all seen the videos. So we're going to pop the gearbox out and just pretty much inspect it and see what's happened. It's real hard to tell from here, there's not a lot of room to see inside. So I've already pulled the exhaust out, well the exhaust is off, that section of it. I've pulled off the rear tail shaft support slash mount slash bracket thing. This exhaust hanger's just, there you go, that came off on its own, so that's out of the way.
Thanks, Nissan.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So it's going to undo the cross member, pull the tail shaft out, and then undo bell housing, drop the box out. From here, I mean at this time it should only be
A 20-minute job.
20 to 30 minutes.
Well, this one's already been clearance. Show them that, because
Yeah, so
Zach's one was not clearance.
Zach's was extremely tight, and my car actually came with these nice clearancing holes. So my gearbox is very easy to pull in and out.
Basically falls out.
Yeah, pretty well. So we're going to get stuck into it. We'll put some few little videos here and there. We're here after hours, so we just want to quickly knock it over. So what time is it now?
It's 5 o'clock. Oh, the dog was in that shot too.
Okay.
5 o'clock, basically
5
on the
o'clock
dot.
On the dot. So you imagine we've spent 10 minutes pulling the exhaust off.
So it'll only take another 10 minutes?
So
Theoretically.
about 20 minutes from now, I think we'll be pretty much done. So we're going to get stuck into it, and we'll see you guys shortly.
Every day we work on this car feels like a mental asylum.
This car pretty much is a mental asylum. So as a good start, the bolts are coming apart a lot easier and nicer than they were on Zach's car. This tail shaft is just about ready to come out. We could be
Should've.
putting this out for no reason.
Undo
It's completely fine.
these as well, but
Yeah, so we got 2 bolts in the middle, and then I want to drain the gearbox because my gearbox actually has oil in it.
that's like bolty.
You know who you are.
Be interesting to see which one is faster. I mean, I feel like this one would be faster. I want it to be faster because I put more effort into it, but
Watch this as a flex. Make sure you see this Zach. Oh, see that? That's a real gearbox. See how small that bar is?
yeah, we had one like 6 times the size of that. Actually, you'll see it in Zach's video.
Yeah. Check out that link in the description for Zach's video and for my old video, which is only posted this week. Gearboxes. This is the whole reason it takes so long to do these jobs, because I can't even find a bucket.
Yeah, so we've been having this issue where I keep hiding the buckets and he hasn't realised yet.
Where he keeps hiding the bucket.
I keep hiding them. If this video looks thrown together, it's because it was.
Oh yeah, this is all very rushed and thrown together, and it's just a big coincidence really that I brought my camera with me today.
Like, I literally have an appointment in an hour.
Apart from that,
And it takes half an hour to get there, so this has to be a 20-minute job.
which it will be, ish. So we won't do what the owner of Zach's old gearbox did and use a rattle gun. We'll just tighten it up.
You sure? I can...
No.
Which one are you going to do next? Oh, it was the left one. If you put 10 on left, you've won. Oh, that didn't sound good. Where are your screwdrivers? Oh, you got your little bent orange. Look at this guy. There you go. Oh, hello. Minutes. Trust.
Yeah, but on this it's been
Shut up.
33, which is pretty good.
That's actually pretty quick.
That's pretty good.
Oh god, it's actually wedged itself in there. It should be sitting straight up and down. Like that. Kinda.
Wait, how was it?
All the way in. So that it's not spinning on the spot, and you see there's 2 flat areas that all should line up.
Wow. It had wedged itself sideways, eh?
It had pretty much gone like that. So you kind of imagine...
It went in the wrong hole, basically.
So these were tight, and you'd almost have to smack that with a hammer just to get it to fit. We're going to leave it there for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, pretty much putting it all back together after I've got some more parts. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of videos, if it's going to be one big video, if it's going to be a single video. But you guys will see the whole kind of progress. Anyways, I mean, it took us, what, half an hour to pull the gearbox out roughly, so it wasn't too bad to pull it back out. You know, we'll put it back in tomorrow. Fingers crossed it all works, get another slave again. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. See you later.
Hey guys, so Tom's not here today, just me. I'm actually putting his new front cover on. Now, we have to replace the front cover because hopefully you'll be able to see there's a big nick out the front of it. And what had happened is, that's your slave there. Not your slave, your throat bearing, for God's sakes. Anyway, that got caught right there as it's done again. What that forced the fork to do is spin in place, and what it's done is it's actually damaged the original throwout bearing and the fork as well. So we thought, why put it back together with a new slave and fork if we're just probably gonna have the same issue. So Tom went over and bought a brand new front cover, which I'm just putting on now. So now all Tom needs to do is put more grease on here, because I've just wiped it off with my throttle body cleaner there. He needs to put his new throwout bearing in. He needs to put his new clutch fork in. Other than that, that's ready to go back in, I believe. Thanks for watching.
You say you wanna cry, but you never